Hey guys, my name's Steph. I'm Botanist Cool. Today I'm with the Ace Attorney expert herself.
Hi, I'm Katie.
We're here to discover what the Blue Badger did. The horrible things.
It was murder.
The horrible things the Blue Badger has done. Oh god. So if I remember correctly, you said this trial has the trial former, the trial ladder, and then the trial ladder part 2.
Yes.
I forgot I took my cracker. Oh god.
Which I only tell you to set expectations so you're not like, oh, we're almost there. Look, we're halfway. We must be halfway through the trial ladder. Like, let's wrap this up. It's like, no, Steph. There's more.
I want to say one thing before I continue on too. Every once in a while I come face to face with what I believe is a random nonsensical Ace Attorney meme, right? And I think, oh wow, this is so funny, this could never happen in the game. Then I sent it to Katie, and Katie's just like, Steph, you have to know why I'm pissed at you, because you keep spoiling yourself. What happens with the orca, Katie?
Is there an orca or is there not an orca? You'll never know.
Let's go. It's so... How is this a real series?
I mean, you already cross-examined a parrot.
This is the defendant lobby, all right, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if... I'm gonna put the Blue Badger as this one. Oh, something's been happening behind the scenes. Oh, ooh, God.
Edward comes up sounding exactly like that.
Hey guys, it's me. It's me, Mile Edgeworth. How are you doing?
See, you maybe could... I wonder if you could... I need to turn on the volume because I don't know if you've noticed, but the Ace Attorney blips, they're actually different pitches for boys and girls. I don't know if they do that for text that hasn't been assigned to one or the other.
Ooh.
But a lot of times, if you listen carefully, the pitches will be... The beep 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 will be different pitches.
Wow, that's really cool. All right. Edgeworth. Oh, wrong button.
Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 777 ID number is, that is.
Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. It looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out.
You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
True, not yet.
In any event, once all the doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right, and Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty.
But you didn't do it!
I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say.
the first time he's done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her.
The truth.
Everything goes back to the SL9 incident.
Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past.
That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened.
I'll think about it. See you in the court, right?
This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. Let's go! Bonk. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Normally, this is where the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has made a proposal. Chief Gant. Okay, let me get this voice ready. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Aji. Been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. That's funny. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I could top that.
If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours?
Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me to see if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everybody a lot of time and trouble. Hey, Ethno, how you doing today?
What is all this about, defendant?
I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished. See, here you can hear the pitch difference.
Oh. Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh?
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, on February 21 of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana! You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea.
In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services.
But Lana...
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney.
Dang!
Prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence.
Alright, game's over, guys. Stream's over. See you guys later.
Like,
Stay Botanist Cool.
Like, if Phoenix was, like, more, experienced, he would have been like, hey, Lana was, like, grossly interrogated for so long.
Yeah.
Like,
and not that, her sister, too.
I forget, what is that called?
Intimidation?
Not intimidation.
Witness tampering.
There's, like, a word for, like...
Witness tampering.
Maybe, like, when you, like, just hold them for so long that it's just, like, they're
Torture?
willing to do anything to just make it stop.
Torture.
I forget what it is. not torture, just, like, because they'll do that. Or there's a word for it, I don't know what it is.
Got you.
I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant clearly has the right to self-representation. The request is legally valid, although it is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there is no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. Because the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth!
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage will be certainly premature.
Come now, Worthy! I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut,
I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant.
What?
Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes.
Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh, to whom? And its first... Oh.
As his first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony.
Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to
I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy! You'll live to regret this, mark my words.
Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Yo, let's go, Edgeworth! Aww.
Now then, witness, please say your name and occupation.
My name is Emma. Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered a serial killer, Joe Dark, of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. So thanks.
Too bad, Emma. I need this for my own self-consciousness. I need to know if I faked evidence, Emma. I don't care about your feelings, Emma.
I mean, you did present fake evidence. Can I go home now?
Alright.
I'm sorry. Words I've never said, like, thank you. But I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Miss Edgeworth, please remember, this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is.
He's so used to it. He's so used to it. He's just like, this court is a madhouse. Well, okay then. You sure gave in fast.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
Trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's about to lead to the truth behind this trial. That's some wild shading. All right.
What?
Thank you for the lurk, Mitchell. That's some wild shading around his eyes. Thank you for the not cursing for 10 minutes, Mitchell. I'm actually gonna eat some cheese because like I didn't have any snacks, so I have so much leftover cheese. I'm just like, you know, I'm gonna eat some cheese.
You're gonna willingly partake of cheese?
Unfortunately, yeah. I don't like it, but I have so much of it. I hate wasting food more than I hate cheese.
You might get an acquired taste after all this.
I know, I hate it. I mean, I don't think I will. But I have no want to buy it.
How do you feel about blue cheese dip? Like, I don't think I'd eat straight blue cheese, but I love pouring blue cheese dip all over my buffalo wings and such.
I'm a ranch guy. I love me my ranch. On my wings. Blue cheese is okay, but not great.
They taste much the same to me on wings. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
Oh, he doesn't fucking know.
No, he's like, Phoenix, I'm learning from you.
He's like,
it's your job.
Oh no, I cursed! I literally just cursed. God damn it. Give me a second. I'll be right back. 10 push-ups. One second for me, guys. I was a minute and a half in. Jesus Christ. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wild, on my phone, Steph hasn't even left the computer yet.
I'm back. What slander have you said about me since I've been gone?
Nothing too bad. You'll just have to find out when you listen to it.
No, like, yeah, he's just like Phoenix, take the wheels. This is your rodeo now. I've set you up.
Well, to be fair, Edgeworth is going out of his way to help you, so it is totally fair of him to be like, alright, I did my part. Good luck.
You've got to admire him for his courage considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Alright, we're gonna press on everything. Oh, wrong button. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective in the police department, correct?
Yes. She was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gant.
Phoenix
I said that really weird, and I'm sorry.
Phoenix and Edgeworth become more like each day. I think we just finally chilled out Edgeworth a bit.
Yeah, he has a lot of character development, in this case, like I think you mentioned it before, but he's a lot more open with how he's feeling and willing to work with you.
And one thing that I remember, Kate sent me a meme. I was like, what does the unnecessary feelings part of the thing mean? And everyone jokes oh, unnecessary feelings, yes, he's in love with Phoenix, but also big brain moment, unnecessary feelings being that he now remembers the reason why he became a prosecutor for the justice and the law and making sure that people do not get harmed, and that is more love than any just normal homoerotic feelings would ever be.
Right, people meme on it, but its actual meaning,
yeah,
is actually much deeper, and that's also why people ship it even more than the meme.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's just there's something even if it is just a friendship, there's something romantic, whether it's romantic or platonically romantic about just bringing out the best in someone. I don't know.
I got you.
But yeah, I ship them majorly romantically. So. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair.
I believe they shared the same office.
That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk. Dream about playing that organ.
That organ's been there for that long?
I guess so.
That's such a waste of money.
I wanted to play it that day, too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work.
A man?
Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer.
Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on that day of the ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest.
When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right?
Upon fleeing the room, Joe Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic as the elevator was going up. Then, he ran into Sky and Gant's office.
There's a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him.
What was the prosecutor doing there?
That day, there were two people present during the Joe Dark questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
I almost forgot about Gant.
Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. That has a sword in it, and I am very... Oh, sorry.
No, this... I'm looking at that sword. I don't trust it.
Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony.
I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after dark.
When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in?
I don't clearly remember what happened then, but
Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out.
The lights.
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then, the lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image in the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. I should have saved. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago.
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman what you saw.
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
Whoa, okay. A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? We're gonna ask about the picture. I could have saved, dang it. Dang it. The picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. You want me to read that? Or I drew a picture of that scene once, but seems to have been lost.
Sorry, no, I was actually doing something else real quick. I'll switch my camera a little bit. Oh, wait, let me go back. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right?
Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes.
That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died, yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken.
But I did draw it, I swear. I'm not imagining it.
This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again.
Well, anyway, let's continue. The scene that imprinted an image in your mind, can you please describe it to us?
The man.
Let me save real quick. I'm paranoid. Oh, no, I did not mean to do that. Alright. Question. That must have been a real shock. No, Phoenix, no!
Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly.
Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage?
When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other.
Wait, why is Dark on the ground? I just realized the person on the bottom is Dark, isn't he? No. No, it's not. Okay, that's Marshall. Never mind. The face looked a little like Dark, so I was really confused for a second.
I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Emma doesn't have any reason to lie, but Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much as she can. Okay, so I think I pretty much got everything here. And I want to present a picture. God dang. Oh, I never examined this.
You did not.
Yo, here we go. No, hold on, I did it wrong. Oh, beans. Oh, beans. Oh, beans. Oh, beans. Oh, there we go. A picture is drawn on the back of this evidence list in magic marker. I found a very bad feeling about this. So it looks like I am going to be presenting it. Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence.
He's like, I'm doing this for you, babe. Why are you attacking me?
All I'm saying is that as prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed a picture.
That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold! This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over. Turn it... Ah! What's this? Please flip it the other way. This is annoying.
Yes, what is that?
Hey!
Hey,
Oh,
that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Phoenix, that was unnecessary. Just a wee bit. A wee tense. A wee bit tense there. Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Huh? These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you had been handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half the evidence in the case ever reached you.
What? What?
Thank you for the alert, KSG. Order. But Miss Sky, why'd you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means...
Your Honor. Are you alright, Mr. Eyes? Your eyes are bulging. Are you alright, Mr. Eyes? Are you alright, Mr. Right? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, there might be more than drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable. Mr. Edgeworth?
It's possible. Let's see.
You ready, Steph? You ready? You ready?
It's almost past my Von Karma voice. Oh my god. Give me a second. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask?
Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing.
Oh my god, the blue badger!
So remember, I forget what session it was, but you were like, even though he didn't exist yet, the blue badger, he did it, I know it. And I was just like, Steph, you have no idea.
I hate this thing so much. That's that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room.
Clearly, this is an act of vandalism. It's the work of a certain chief of detectives.
I guess he was out of scrap paper. I gotta see this whole thing now. Very well, witness. Will you please testify about the picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. I'm putting that picture somewhere. I do want to see it first. Hold on, let's get... Oh, I have to go through the testimony first, alright.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows.
You know, hold on, I thought that was a good point. But one thing, okay, but one thing, why didn't Edgeworth ever look at the back of the evidence list? Like, not only that, it's like a marker that should be showing against the evidence list. Like, you should be able to see it from the other side, you know what I'm saying? In 2 years.
I guess it's just like really thick paper, and then it's just a meme in this game that no one ever turns their evidence. Like, think about you on your first game and the Maya thing. Like, remember, like, Maya, like, the name was written in blood, but if you turn to the other side, it was a receipt. It's just like a meme that, like, no one turns over their stuff. But also, I guess it was, like, a one-page form. Like, you can see there's nothing on the back, so if Edgeworth's, like, a seasoned, like, he was kind of a newbie, but probably had taken a few cases before this one. So he probably knew that there was, like, no form on the other side, so he probably just didn't look.
Yeah, I also just like to imagine like him like you do the whole thing where you shuffle the papers on the desk and someone just sees the picture on the other side and he doesn't see it, but the other person does.
Can you imagine like Gant or someone is just like looking at it and just like do 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 do. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flashlighting could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright, time to look at that picture that's now together forever. Check it. I'm trying to think like what is this symbolism? I guess. I had to fix my fan. I'm trying to think what is this? Is this some kind of like Sora, Mickey Mouse kind of Kingdom Hearts opener thing? Like
just the blue badger traveled through time to commit a murder.
That's what I'm thinking. I wish all courts were like Ace Attorney. I don't. That'd be more interesting, though. I mean, Judge Judy's basically Ace Attorney, isn't it? Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye.
2 or 3 days later, the memory should have still been fresh in our mind. Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why the picture is painted all black? You horribly wrong. It can be very entertaining. Yeah, I could. I mean, I wouldn't want to play with people's lives like that, but I get what you're saying. So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall come to your rescue.
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor.
Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
It's not blinking. Fucking. No.
What's happening?
My camera's being a pain in my butt. Poor Emma, I'm just glad she wasn't hurt.
What happened after the lightning flashed?
You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No. I'm sorry.
The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really have to torture this girl any further?
What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here.
Anyway, this picture.
Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
It wasn't influenced by any of your talks with the detectives?
Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
No, of course not. I'd better watch out or he might find some way to cut my salary.
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives.
Or if you had a little couples fight during the court session, yes.
I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Let me save this real quick. Oh, well... That's strange. She claims this is exactly what the scene had imprinted in her mind, and yet... There's clearly a contradiction here. What's the contradiction? Hold on, what's the contradiction?
I think I know. You probably have to review some evidences.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so I can't see the actual list of stuff themselves. Nothing here, it's just Emma's handprint if I remember correctly. Stabbed in the back, died from a punctured heart and wound. She said he was stabbed in the chest. There we go, music change, baby. Let's go. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the picture this way is true contains a blatant contradiction.
What? But I still remember it like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be passive if you simply pointed out the contradiction to us. What part of the picture contradicts the autopsy report? God dang it, did I just point at his chest vaguely? I think, no. This right here? I don't see what's so strange about that. That's because the drawing stinks!
You're right, how could he?
The act of making an innocent girl cry should warrant the death penalty.
I guess he means they shouldn't shift the blame onto others. Yes, well, so long as the defense has learned this lesson. I better take another look at that autopsy report and this picture. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out the car. Alright. I pointed at his chest. But I pointed at the knife. Nope. Oh, never mind then. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. You can clearly see... Look. If you look close, you can clearly see the tip is broken. Wait, what? Jesus Christ. Is this what you're really going for, Phoenix? Is this what you're really going for, my dude? Really? I'm sorry, this is such a stretch. This is such a stretch. It could have been a single line. She could have drawn a single gosh darn line, Phoenix. Oh my God. Oh, God damn it.
You're not on a cursor timer, are you?
No, I don't think so. I'm just like, oh God. No, sorry. I my brain froze for a second. My brain froze for a second. Even I don't have to look that close to see that, Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
And where, pray tell, can you possibly see a problem?
It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Ah! What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right, but what does it mean? Chewfish, thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're here talking with our two beautiful gay lawyers, and feel free to have a little fun with us. Talk us into the chat. How are you doing today? Thank you for the stretch.
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is that the witness's memory is mistaken.
That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at that time. But she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. It's healthy for you. I'm digging the voice as well. Thank you very much, Chewfish. We're gonna have plenty of voice work here. Katie's with me actually too, and she does a lot of the good voice work as well.
Hello.
Have you forgotten already about a little something called falsified evidence?
I'm going to rub this in your face, Edgeworth. I'm sorry, babe, but it has to be done.
Oh.
You're treading on thin ice, right?
Mr. Popo, thank you very much for the follow. We are getting closer to our 750 follower mark. Please, let's get there soon one day, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Mr. Popo, how are you doing today?
Okay.
And Chewfish says, hi, Katie, I love you. Your laughter is contagious. Wow, Mitchell. Thank you very much. I hate the fact that I cannot curse for the next 10 minutes. We'll see how this goes. All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be a piece of evidence that was forged. You can't possibly deny that possibility. Yeah, Red's really pushing it.
No. Ah!
Yeah, cursing's not healthy. Mr. Popo, cramming for an exam. Yo, good luck on finals. It's finals week this and next week. I do know that. Good luck. What are you studying, my dude? I'm well past college, so that being said, my boss did give me an organic biochemistry book today as a Christmas present, so I guess I'm gonna be studying a little bit. Accounting. Good luck. Good luck. You know what? I think you can count on getting a good grade there. Anyways.
I have to go now, Steph. Goodbye.
Thank you for the sub, True Fish. Thank you very much. That means the world to me.
Are you saying that the investigation was really corrupted? Judge, we've had people say that they forged evidence.
Are you saying that the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The Blue Badger went into the police department and murdered everyone.
Simple as that. Please hold.
The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. The puns, no. After receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him, and was killed by Dark. It's my belief that somewhere in the story there is a lie.
I'm not lying. The man was really holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives?
Another broken knife? Besides Joe Dark's, there have been one.
There is another one. This is my Yoda moment where it's like, there is another, you know? If the witness is adamant that the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained with a simple observational error.
Mr. Wright.
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. Their murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. The Blue Badger. I'm waiting for the Blue Badger to come up. He's coming up. He's coming up. I know it. Emma Sky, my angel, my darling. Oh, the Sleep Peasy. How you doing today? Might have to go, Phoenix, right? The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture.
This is the picture of the reward ceremony.
Ah! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's the broken murder weapon.
Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. Gosh darn knife.
That's a broken knife.
As we've earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That case being, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Jesus, this thing's going insane. Order, order, order. Neil Marshall was awarded the King of Prosecutors Award that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in a dangerous situation.
But that can't be.
Oh? And why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean? I mean,
This man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neo Marshall.
Oh. Oh! But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? He walked into that one. He did shoot. He did. This is wild.
I mean, to be fair, like, it was stated that they wrestled. I don't think that's what they're gonna argue here, but they did totally wrestle, so I don't know why everyone's so cranky about this. They did fight for control of the weapon.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that is true. That is true.
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
The Blue Badger too?
Yes, it was him. I saw it with my eyeballs.
Witness.
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it?
could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list. The one with that picture scribbled on the back. Come shoot, not the Blue Badger. Oh my god, it is the Blue Badger. I knew it. God dang it.
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
What?
You drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture.
Oh, I hate this thing so much.
All this time, I've been trying so hard to forget that horrible, horrible blue man. Gyrating, wiggling, writhing. It's cursed me to my waking moments and every day. I must have locked this part deep away, away deep inside of me. God help us all.
Getting soliloquy is something. Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you recall of this guy?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up, and now the Blue Badger. This should be interesting. Can we get an F in the chat for the Blue Badger? Can we get an F in the chat for the Blue Badger? Here, let me put the first one in there. The Blue Badger's about to be put up onto the testimony stand. Let's get an F in the chat for the Blue Badger for those of you guys here.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the Blue Badger.
What? What? The Blue Badger comes in crashing through the window like Batman. Oh my god, why is he the centerpiece?
He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
What do you mean? This is certainly most unusual.
Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. We need a Blue Badger emote. Yo, okay, I was cursed. Commissions for agents should be opening up soon. I will put, I've been thinking of an Ace Attorney emote to put in here. I'm just saying, we might have one as a contender.
Oh my.
Yes, well, oh, I couldn't even finish that.
Stop, please, don't pursue this any further.
Lana, what's the meaning of this? Please remain seated and defend this chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Sky, we've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence. The defense will not begin cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. Oh, I'm good. I can curse now. Fuck yeah. Usually we're finally getting to the core of this matter. Why did the blue badger send Lana into such a gosh darn like frenzy there? Okay.
When I saw that man raise his knife.
When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark?
Yes. At least, I think it was him.
You think?
All I could really see were shadows.
The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports.
So then you... Why would you do something so dangerous?
What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife.
But as we just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help that other person.
What do you mean you think?
It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur.
Miss Sky was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural.
I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So, what happened next? This is the most ridiculous line yet in the Phoenix.
This
Right.
is really more ridiculous than I would like to cross-examine the witness's parrot.
At least the witness's parrot existed. Are you sure about this?
Of course. See? I even drew a picture of him here.
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up that hideous beast, and that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago.
That is fair. The parrot was alive.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember.
Oh, brother. Just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion.
He's back, baby.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
He wasn't. Oh yeah, already.
His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all?
That's right. But I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation? This will by all means tell us what this shadow really was.
Let me save real quick. What was it that Emma saw in the lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger? Ah! Oh my god. Usually the answer is to just say I just might know and guess it. I saved. blue badger hadn't even been jumped up when Emma drew this picture, yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense belief that on the fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this wait, what?
Mr. Wright.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay.
I'm so glad that you know exactly what I am talking about.
Oh my god. It's in this very room. In this room very well, Mr. Wright. What is this the witness saw? It's it. Please show us this mysterious. Wait. Actually, wait a minute. Actually, this could work. Actually, this could work. The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint! I gotta show them. The correct way to look at this... Why do you do this to me, game? Why do you have this song playing too? I hate this.
I remember this was annoying. I couldn't get it right.
This isn't right. I've got to make it look more like the blue badger.
Allow me to remind the defense. The case hinges on the witness's drawing. If Mr. Wright can't match the shape the witness drew, we cannot accept this claim.
I gotta find just the right angle. Maybe to rotate vertically. Wait, I was doing that. What?
You just need to get the right angle that it looks. Oh, you didn't mean to present yet?
No. Dang it! No, I pressed the E button. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. No! Not!
Why do you keep pressing E?
Because it's right next to the R button. It's
Can you not
literally...
use your mouse or something? Or the arrow keys?
Can I use my mouse? Hold on. Yes! Oh, Christ. Okay, great.
The arrow keys or something?
This looks like it. That's the problem. This looks like it, but I don't think they'll accept that. I guess that could work.
That's not it.
The honest is the blue badger is mocking us. It is.
Me?
Ah, come on.
Let me consult my memory about the angle.
This one I will actually accept a lot of help from. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
Let's see. Angle.
There's a broken part here, though, that we're missing.
I mean, like, you basically had it.
Oh, son of a gun, really?
Hold on. Wait a second.
This music makes you go
yeah.
insane. Good
I mean,
luck.
that looks like it should be it. So present that.
Oh, come on!
That's what it says! That's what it is!
Send me the picture. Just send me the picture. Let me see if I can just do my best to mimic it.
Yeah. I don't know why it isn't accepted. Hold on.
Maybe
Like,
it's...
you face. I remember this being annoying. I remember this specifically being annoying. The DS technology was not there yet.
It tried.
Right, like, that's the angle you had it at.
The angle I had it at was right?
Well, here, I just sent it to you.
Oh, let me take a look at it.
Right?
Okay,
Like,
no,
that-
I see. There's a small, insignificant BS-filled difference. Feels higher. No, actually, hold on, wait. Yeah, that's literally it. What?
You see what I mean? Alright, hold on. I'm gonna stare at this and I'm gonna, like, nitpick to hell and back, okay?
Please.
So get it back into the position.
Yeah, okay. Hold on. I'm gonna get it perfectly straight up here.
Tilt it slightly up more. Or slightly down more, I should say. Try it?
What about the use the blood splatter? Use the blood
I
splatter.
mean, that's what it looks like to me. Try it.
There we go! Hallelujah! Well, is this a miracle or what? Jesus Christ.
That's basically what we had.
I hate
Why
this.
is there no margin of error?
I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I just want to end this. Just end this. Yo, guys, we're ending the stream 2 hours. No, I'm kidding.
No, it can't be. The Blue Badger.
Merry crisis. Order, order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day was actually this.
Although we've all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point?
What do you mean?
So the Blue Badger thing was actually a jar. That doesn't change anything.
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed? Very well then. Please tell us.
What difference does it make now that we've know this all a jar? The location, the murder weapon. I don't know. They were very patient and waiting for the accurate jar shadow. Exactly. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very
specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of this jar is shown in the picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on the shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
But the body was found lying near Landeskai's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office.
Are you implying that the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office?
Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly. What? If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Okay, I'm gonna save again, just in case I talk myself into a corner. Do you know what the reason was, Mr. Wright? I finally figured it out now. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said that she was knocked away by the man holding up the knife. Next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked to the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, let me draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked into the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the suit of armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy.
No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking.
Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility. Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If the events took place as the defense theorizes, the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man in the sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh, God.
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No!
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
There was a witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try and pin the crime on her?
Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you have to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive proof that my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Yep. Evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes. It certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
We certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has been all a wild goose chase from the beginning.
Touche, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still other possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean, possibly that the victim has left us a message. For better or worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life, in one manner or another.
That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left for you. Let me quickly save. Every time I get to one of these now. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? We gotta think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim left behind is in the evidence. This message from the deceased. It's already in our possession.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Well, manslaughter at the best.
Do not be mistaken, Miss Guy. Our purpose is not to accuse them of any crime. There's only one thing we seek, the truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us a piece of evidence that conveys the message from the deceased. This is the message from the deceased. Right. Now then, this is the message from the judge. Wait, what?
What was the message that you presented?
His thing. His.
What thing? I missed it.
Oh, it has to be
glanced away.
written. It has to be written. Okay, fine. I showed the leather cloth. I assumed it was like this leather jacket. She just pushed him with the leather jacket.
Yeah, no.
This is the video of the badger. I thought it was this. Like,
No.
I thought it was that. Okay.
That's no message from the deceased.
You don't know that. I mean, you do know that, but...
I do know that. I know what it is, but that's because I've played this before.
It's the blue badger. Is there anything else on this thing? Check the back. Let's check the back of it.
You can't.
Dang it! Nate's attorney, why? Anything fancy with this? I'm keeping my lips tight too, so sure you've already done this, huh?
Yeah, that's the hardest part, is wanting to say.
What it is. So tell
What
me
it is.
why it ain't nothing but a screwdriver. What? Oh. Don't tell me it's this. It's like really bad handwriting though. Yep. Tell me what. It's honestly painful knowing what it is. I ain't saying it though. Gotcha. This is the message left by the deceased. This is that
So
blue
Steph,
badger
when
from
you're
before.
like, is the message from the deceased the blue badger? I was like, well, in a manner of speaking.
From a certain point of view.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. The message left here on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It does kind of look like an M. It looks like
someone wiped away the blood.
Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there's a line here drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is that these dots were once lines.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used a few precious moments to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away, but the blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent. No.
No.
Oh. One more time.
No. You
You
took the moment.
did it
It's
anyway.
okay.
You did it anyway. Haha, I tricked you. You fell for it. Mr. Wright.
Well, for what? Exactly.
You said
not saying it again.
Yeah, no, you said no.
Oh, I see. I'm the fool.
What kind of message did he leave? Leave the the victim leave for us. Your Honor, I believe the bloodstains will reveal the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim could have written under given circumstances: his murderer's name. Wait, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Emma murdered me violently.
Top person for 10 minutes. Thank you very much, Mitchell. Oh, poor Emma. She's going to jail forever. Rest in peace. 10 minutes on the clock.
Pepperonis.
It's the defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
Of all the people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. What is that? Oh, that's her bandaged hand. I thought she had like a gun in her hand or something. See, Worthy, can't say I didn't warn you.
Chief can't.
Do you understand the implications of what you've done?
What? What are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not? Ugh. Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That is.
Oh, but Joe Dark was really a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice? Wait, what?
What?
What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter, even if there wasn't any cover-up evidence, even a cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone might say, the fact cannot be denied. What's going on to the prosecutor's office? They might have sent him. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order, 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 order! Oh, this is wild. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears, unable to tell the crowd. The judge declared a recess. Where the trial's headed, nobody knows. All right, we're going to the latter part now.
Edgeworth's having a super great time.
Are we gonna finish this today? I don't know. There's a ladder part too.
We're already on trial ladder. What else could there possibly be?
Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
I love you, Gumshoe.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. All the time. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run around while on duty. And top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again? Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you. Wait, what? Evidence law? She asked me to give you this if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law. I just was talking about that just the other day.
I love that Lana's like, you're a moron. Here's evidence law for dummies. Please read it, for God's sake.
You must know 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without approval of the police department.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so.
You could at least study some evidence law, really. You are a lawyer. How do you not know this?
The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book. And guess I'll need to give the book a read through. A whole book for 2 rules. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though.
Well, you see, Steph, they thought that you might not appreciate reading the entire legal text of Japan.
Hey, Aiden, how you doing today? All that's left now is a chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh?
Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me?
Mr. Edgeworth.
The real trial today hasn't begun yet.
What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Sky found out she was unwilling to cause a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more. You've got to be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Gumshoe.
She didn't murder Detective Gumshoe.
She didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. All right, let's go. I'm good. How about you? I'm doing fantastic, Aiden. Thank you very much for asking. We're having a great time with our beautiful gay lawyers. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
The inquiry committee has planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
He takes it in grace. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls for a witness, but this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have
struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses?
I didn't say that.
I love that like everyone's like, he's so corrupt. It's like, this is the guy like parading around all these things. Like, you think he's doing this and he's corrupt? Hello.
It's just, you see, everyone's been talking and...
Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution.
A solution?
That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses.
What?
This is less sus. This right here is less likely to be collusion. This right here.
Yeah, no, I'm sure the defense will do fine. Don't worry. Let the defense handle it.
Oh, no. I mean, like, he wants to prove he isn't striking deals, and he's like, well, we'll let the defense handle it instead.
Yeah.
The very thing that striking deals would like.
Yeah.
Like, that's more sus to me, personally.
I just feel it's really sus because they've been hanging out in the lobby together in the recess.
Right? Like, repeatedly.
What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witness.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
Unbelievable.
Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness.
Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is good as over.
The defense calls... Hold on. I'm gonna do something really stupid. Time's finally come to bring out the... Dang it, I can't bring out the blue badger. Oh, I wanted to bring out the blue badger. Dang it. Damon Gant. I mean, Damon Gant's the person I want to do, but Lana Sky would also be good. But I think it's Damon Gant. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant. What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant had a first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel that we should hear what he has to say about it.
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. I gotta do this voice. Jesus.
Witness, please say your name and occupation.
What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch.
Your name and occupation, sir.
Worthy, are you sure you want to do this?
Your name and occupation.
So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police.
Ah, good.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? Thank you very much for the hydrate, Mitchell. First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There's still some things that are unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that the police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure, take my testimony for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. That is...
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks.
Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well, then the witness may now begin his testimony. Okay. Alright, let's go. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped out. The power outage didn't happen either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. That when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. Jesus. I see. Everything seems pretty clear. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I better hit him hard and fast. Alright. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I am a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that.
Was the defendant, Lana Sky, also present in the room?
I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first, so Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky.
What's this about, a power outage?
Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil when that knife went through his heart, though. Oh my god. That's not funny. When I went to my office... Oh, no. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor? Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls. Did he just make jokes about that? Yep, he did. He did. Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done.
I mean, to be fair, he is like policeman. He just deals with murders all the time.
I don't imagine. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm a police guy.
Making jokes.
Yeah.
They are tasteless.
They are
don't get me
100%
wrong,
tasteless.
but-
Yeah. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved.
So that means you found the body near Lana's desk.
That's right. I think you said earlier it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway. So, you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office. That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidences are inexcusable no matter what the circumstance. Is that what really went down?
Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you better be better off staring at the court record.
Worthy. Always the smooth talker. But which piece of... Yeah, okay, I know this one. Lana did admit to forging evidence, but this can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. I got it. I do want to see one thing, though. I want to read that book. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence present must be relevant to the case on trial. Cool. So this is going to be relevant. If you really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What's that? And what's that on it? A handprint. Chief Gant, your explanation, please. I don't know. You tell me, son. Huh? My dear Rhino, don't you know the second rule of evidence law? Oh, not this again. Evidence law. Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how is that rag relevant to this trial? It appears the defense was not prepared. I guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence? Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. Would you mind giving the defense another chance? Well, okay. I'll do it just this once, but only because you asked, Gudgy. Thank you, I assure you the defense is terribly sorry. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't nail you. Wait, what? Oh, come on. Come on. Oh.
For the
Right here. No. What do I think it's the King of Prosecutors trophy. Or the unstable jar. They're both found in Chief Gant's office. But this directly relates to what we previously mentioned had knocked someone out, so maybe... Let's go for the jar. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery, but I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself! Several pieces of evidence are found in your office. Take this jar, for example. That's the blue badger you showed us earlier. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part of this illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what is the meaning of this? Oh, here's a defense attorney who's may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then, that you are involved in the forgery. Who, me? Or did you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do it too. Isn't that right, Rhino?
However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation.
Worthy, my boy. Not even the detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
What?
What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces in the evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place on the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put 2 and 2 together. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyways, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Joe Darks was convicted, then they are worthless. There's no reason I participated in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. That's right. Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh, I will murder you violently. You thought what I did to Detective Goodman was bad. Well, why don't you see, Rhino? I still have that sword from the chief of prosecutors. The award. Indeed. I believe I will press charges so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. All right, Aji. In return, though, I know. That place, right? Huh? What are these guys telepathic?
They're besties, Phoenix. You wouldn't understand.
All right. Q. I'd appreciate it if you stopped breaking this. I'd appreciate it if you stopped making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in my day, I once... Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyways, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence.
That Phoenix almost admitted to cow tipping.
I know, right?
Cow tipping of all things.
If you have proof to the contrary, you're gonna need it later. Later?
Later, what are you talking about?
What else? I'm talking about when Rhino's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. Cow tipping. Ezekiel gonna say blue badger, but in Greek. So the color to say blue is bleh. So it's not really just bleh.
I mean, to be fair, Phoenix did very much break the law in this.
No, he did.
100%.
He did. But which one is even worse? Asvos. So, ble asvos would be the blue badger. So we have Kokino being red, Prasino being green, Prasino being yellow, Kitino being green, Ble being blue, Rose being pink. I don't remember the rest. Anyways, Ble asvos. Can't memorize that myself. Never face anyone as slimy as this guy. Anyway, you can't. Oh wait. Yeah, cow tipping. That's how you do it, man. You ain't been cow tipping, you know. Le asvos. I don't know how to spell it, but thank you. Yeah, more or less. That's how you say it. Asvos. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place these items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence found in the crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet, Rhino. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient?
Right. The chief is talking about a possibility, so long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may, will only succeed in wasting time.
Tell me something I don't know. Come on now, Rhino. Think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent! Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Well, now do you see? You're in the crap soup? Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is only one large benefit you've reaped from this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What's the benefit? It would, of course, been the position you have, Chief of Police. Oh. The resolution of the SL9 is to secure your position to the Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of the SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth?
Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway.
Be careful when pointing that finger, or it might wind up being the one pointed at. Or you might end up being the one pointed at.
So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else.
Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There. It's out in the open now. Oshi, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Oh my god, I think he just buried himself here. Or there's a trap here. Or there's a trap here. Let me save this real. He changed it on purpose. And there's Katie like, Steph, are you gonna fall for the trap? Are you gonna fall for the trap? Alright. Alright, let's go. Oop, wrong button. Oh! Sorry, but the only person I truly care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again.
You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone.
Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. Oh, that's really bad.
You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though.
That's a good one, Worthy. There have been something in it for him. Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone else? Katie's waiting for me to make this choice. She's just like, Steph.
I'll be honest, I know the general direction you want to go, but I don't remember which one's the right one off the top of my head. I think I know what it is, but
I'm going to say... I just don't want to waste like an hour going down one route, you know what I'm saying?
You won't waste an hour going down the wrong route.
But I also kind of want to be perfect. Because... But I can't think of how this will help him. That means he wouldn't have helped out anyone.
Relax and take a deep breath, Mr. Wright. Try to think outside the box. After all, that's what you're good at, isn't it?
Think outside the box. I never thought I'd hear him tell me that. Follow your heart. Thank you, Chewfish. The question is, who would the chief help? It is, who would the chief ask for help? If someone did that, he'd be sure to find a way to benefit from that person. There we go. I chose the right one. It appears the defense has nothing more to say. Chief, would you please repeat your testimony from the beginning? Oh, wait, is that it? Wait! Yeah, I know he played a part in the forgery. Only means someone asked him to be an accomplice.
Damn again. Someone's accomplice, that sounds unlikely.
So they're the two that he has an accomplice. Okay. Yes. Sure, you might not help anyone for their sake, but for benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? The Blue Badger. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky, the defendant. I believe it's quite obvious in the light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? As for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. The reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all this?
He would be able to use a chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
You mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets?
Yes.
Oh, wait. You mean puppet, as in someone forced to do his bidding. I got it.
It's okay, Judge. Take your time.
He's old. He's senile. He needs a few moments.
So old.
He's so old.
So old is the thing.
He's like older than 40. He's so old.
So old.
Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as a chief prosecutor so you could control her. Right, oh my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying I've done such a thing? Lana? She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she's testifying against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Unless that is also what happened in the incident.
This incident? This incident by, which one would that be?
Of course, I'm talking about the murder of the detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial, almost as if someone has been controlling her.
Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Wait, what? Murmur. Hamina. Order, I said order. Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That is impossible. Hey, I'm sorry to tell you, Judge. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in an easier to understand
Passing the bus back to you, edgy boy. Alright.
It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now.
He was translating for you, judging. It looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright, that the chief, a high-ranking officer, is involved in this murder? Good question.
Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. All right, then. Let's see what Mr. Wright has got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties... Chief Detective. Great. It's the Blue Badger. I have to say that at least once every time now. It's my attorney's badge. God dang it. I hate this. I don't know. Oh. Well, Chief. As long as right here is tossing out things. Oh, dang it. Mind if I toss something too, Udgy? This shoe should do nicely. I'll chuck it right at you. You always were quite the joker, weren't you? Oops. Looks like I got it wrong. Yep. Don't oops me. Maybe this will. Okay, never mind. Blue badge doesn't even look like a badge, just like a jester, more or less.
I know it's hard with all that's gone during a trial, but try to think back to what happened in the evidence room 4 days ago.
Now that he mentions it, we did find something during yesterday's investigation. So then that proves Gant entered that room. Oh, I'm an idiot. Looks like he wants another one of your boots, Udgy. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Just, I am such an idiot. I am an idiot. I am an idiot. There we go. This is the ID card list. Yes. The one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. I suppose that's the jest. There was one ID list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 7777777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that that's my card number. It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7777777. I broke into his office and tried it out myself. I illegally searched his office, Your Honor. Do you not understand?
To jail immediately.
The same as the remaining ID card found on this list. Chief Gant, you entered the You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing! The defense search of my office was a violation of regulations.
And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card.
Water, I need water. Chief Gant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. I took a shit in the evidence room.
Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone?
I always... He took a shit in the evidence room, guys. He confirmed it. I always go alone in the bathroom as I go alone in the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You haven't seen him in days, Chief Gant. I'm afraid you just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. The trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Detective Gant met with the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing: what transpired during that meeting.
In that case, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Shows proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Oh! Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime.
Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it.
So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have to have given that report to the Chief of Police. Yeah, you are in possession of that report. Get his sus for that, damn straight. Which means you can't be sure he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the same room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. But wait. The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes! Now, that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort.
Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once, and yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body.
No! What? What was that transformation? What was that transformation?
Yeah.
Dude went like Super Saiyan for a second. 10 minutes on the clock. Let's go. Chief Gat, you didn't. The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course.
You're forgetting, Mr. Wright. The victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there?
I was at the police department the entire day, you know?
And everyone was aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office.
Oh my god, this scumbag. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Kent, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. How could the chief move the body? Mr. Wright, show us the evidence. To move the body, to move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that, a screwdriver? What does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here?
It's here because... I was asked to go, but Chief Cat no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office.
But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to.
You mean I...
The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. It gained its own sentience. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transfer the evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body, your accomplice. Edgeworth just has a horrible time in the field, yeah. Miss Lana Sky.
Yeah, every time you think Edgeworth has hit rock bottom, just more things keep happening that just make his day worse.
Order, what's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to this defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of a dead body being stuffed in the truck to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite.
It's the photo of a body being taken from the trunk.
Chief Gant, please say something. I believe your time's up.
My
time's up. Sorry, Ryder, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're gonna make it in time for the early bird special. But the cross-examination hasn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? That's not the right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're going to just run away after all this?
Run away! Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman, that's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had a lot to dispose of the body? If so, then show me your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that the chief of Gant murdered... Let me save this real quick. Don't want this to be a trap. There go, man, and made this guy dispose of his body. Do I have any concrete proof? Yeah, I do. Can't let him squirm out his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor. I do have such evidence. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, it better prove Detective Gant murdered Detective Goodman beyond... Oh. Frick. Frick frack. So, what exactly is this evidence? It's proof as to whether or not to determine as to whether or not it's enough to determine the chief's guilt. I'll let you be the judge. But I am the judge. Oh, right. Well, what do you think, Your Honor? Then who would be accused of murder this trial? Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna be late for lunch. I guess I wasn't sure enough. Your Honor, please give me a little longer to consider. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna save again.
I don't know why you saved your bad choice into existence.
That's a good point. I can't let him discriminate.
And also why you save over the same save file repeatedly.
I know. Wait a second. Where's the floor plans? Check everything. Just check everything before presenting. Yeah, 100%. I want to see the floor plans. Yeah. That big blood stain. I think that's it. So, oh. Okay, I'm not gonna save this time. All right. You believe me? Thank you, Chu. I want to say the other knife, but I think I chose that one already, didn't I? No, I was thinking that maybe because of the big blood stain that had the glove on there. You know what I'm saying? Is this the one that I have to say I have no proof yet? It's no use showing evidence I'm not sure of myself. No, Your Honor, at the present I have no conclusive evidence. See, Archie? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you against... Oh. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble when you can't afford to lose right now. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, I'll leave the rest to you. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to the senior officer of our nation's law enforcement agency. What? Oh, is this it? This is it. Okay.
Lady Luck, maybe we should have a word with her.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth, another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof this testimony.
But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify.
There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room.
Objection!
Miss Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The fence is the one calling the witnesses today.
Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist?
She may not be willing to tell the truth,
But we can't stop now. Yes, Your Honor, the defense calls for...
That one tiny little beep 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 making me so stressed.
I know.
So tiny.
The defendant, Miss Lana Sky. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth?
the prosecution has no objection, Your Honor.
Very well. The court will now leave to take its final recess of the day. 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now... let's take a guess. Who's this voice?
I think I know, but...
Hold on! Huh? Oh, dang.
You got it!
There we go. Chief, I thought you were going to go eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. I am directly threatening you in front of a judge.
I mean, Phoenix has not yet been penalized for breaking into the chief of police's office.
That's
so
true. This is my friend
I
Katie.
feel like...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Nest Killer. This is my friend Katie. She is a professional in all things Phoenix Wright.
Sure.
That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. Let me threaten you even louder, Lana Wright. Lana Marshall. Lana, whatever your last name is. Sky. This isn't good. Of course, you never support such outrageous claims anyways, right? Just something to think about. LOL, JK, if only, haha. Alright then, I've got a lunch date to meet, LOL. Not fleeing the country.
I feel like your sister's already like, are you just gonna not? I guess. I guess technically he could be like, we're not gonna investigate it as chief of police. I don't know.
Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. I think we need to recess because I need to use the restroom. We have 45 minutes left. Do you think we could do the whole part, the second part of this in 45 minutes?
Maybe.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Katie, go do what you gotta do, and we'll be back in a second. All right?
Alrighty. I'll be back.
And we are back. Okay. I should be unmuted. You're unmuted. Oh.
Hooray.
I'm born ready for this, baby. Let's go. Yeah, I just saw also the GIF you posted in the Discord we have. Under stream chat, Katie posted the I think the best scene from the live action Ace Attorney movie.
Do you want to see that one day?
I do want to see it one day, but apparently I'm going to pay all 3 games before I do. Anyways, let's go.
Looks like we managed to stay in the game.
Gotta get your head in the game. Gotta get you. Anyways, yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That chief, he's something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe. I'm not detective anymore. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Don't worry, I already decided where to work now. At your office. My office? Sure.
Yeah, come on. Welcome to Raid and Go.
I'll take that place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with.
I'd be down for this. Can you imagine?
Yo, okay, I would actually love to see this.
Right?
Okay, I want just like just a spin-off game of Detective Gumshoe just working with Phoenix for one case. That'd be amazing. Yeah, he wants to replace Maya. There's a live action movie or series. I don't know if it's a movie or series. What is it, Katie?
I'm pretty sure it's a movie.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Could he mean Maya? Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand?
Maybe it's a series, actually. I don't know.
It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify.
Settle down, right? Remember what the judge said?
But Chief, that's not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. I recall there's a DS game where you can play as Edgeworth. Yes, there is one. There is the Miles Edgeworth cases or whatever, and then there's a second one that was only in Japan.
Yeah, it's Ace Attorney Investigations.
Risks. What did he mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true.
I'm not sure. Is that...
Blue Badger voice, let's go. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything, too? Oh.
What do you think of my Blue Badger tricks?
Great impersonation of the Blue Badger, Emma. Emma, are you okay?
Yeah. When I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry about what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved that you murdered a man?
Yes. I've always wanted to see if I could. Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me.
Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
What do you mean?
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do.
I'm not speaking from personal experience.
Von Karma.
Definitely not.
Von Karma
From Von
didn't.
Karma.
No, certainly I have not had a similar experience with Von Karma in any way, shape, or form. Remember who I am at all.
It's like Von Karma in the clouds, like fucking Mufasa. That's why she became so cold.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society.
Thanks, Gumshoe.
From specifically from Von Karma, actually, Chew. That was my Von Karma voice.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see. Well, we'd better get back. It's time for the final act. Not any meta kind of stuff there. No, it's just, we think it's gonna be the final one. Just, definitely not meta. Emma, why don't you wait in the...
Now, I'm going with you. I want to be there when Lana tells the truth.
Let's go, right. It's time to end this. And yes, we could go holding hands. It's fine, I promise.
Oh! We stopped this a little bit earlier than to be continued. Alright, let's go. Speedrun time, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm gonna turn off of this.
Let's see. Hopefully you have all your penalties back.
I hope so, because I'm on 1, baby. I think I do, because it's a recess. So now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand?
Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Please prepare the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you're under oath. We want to hear the truth.
Of course. The truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister.
Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we've got to get Gant. Yeah, and the fabrication. Let's go.
I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago, all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene.
Had to blow a hole in that one.
My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana!
This is true. That means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
But what if she's telling you is the truth?
She's not. I know my own sister. And she's a dirty, dirty liar. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
Agony! Ah! I'm more painful than yours.
Oh god, that song is so good.
Who is Lana? Chris Pine or the other guy? I forgot the other guy. Yes. Yeah, this is no time to start second guessing myself. The defense now may begin its cross-examination of the defense. Q, baby, let's go! How many years exactly?
Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. Making senior detective at 24 is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive actually. Detective Gant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good coming from the same school as Mia.
Eamon Gant was a respectable detective. That's why...
But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yourself yesterday in jail.
You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And...
Did you do so to help your sister?
Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life.
Exactly true. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything.
That's not the point.
Are you saying the point was stabbed into Marshall's body?
Steph, you were making fun of Dan Gant for making tasteless.
That's true, that's true.
I'm not saying I don't enjoy your murder jokes. I'm just saying this happens. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana.
So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago. You say you did this all by yourself?
Yes.
Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene?
It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken Prosecutor Award knife was stuck in the victim's body.
What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life.
Oh, what's this bull we're getting right now? Okay.
Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement.
You mean
Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark?
Something like that.
If that is so, then what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife.
Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
that's not how it does. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies.
All just to protect me.
So, when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
Yes.
You planted the tip of Dark's knife into the victim's wound, then you move the body, and then you move the body.
But why? Why would you do that?
You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders.
My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of others. But why did you do that?
Come now, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure it out.
Very well, let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason Miss Sky fabricated the knife.
I knew the tip of the weapon found in his body buried in his body would be all the proof we needed.
According to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall's broken knife was the murder weapon, right?
Yes, and leaving it at that might point the blame away from Dark. I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be by having the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body.
So you buried it inside the victim's stab wound.
Yes. Because I hate Dark for what he did.
Let's see if I can see what the other one does. When you showed me on the, when you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
Yep, it was. A safe hand, yes.
But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there?
The reason for that.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason why Miss Sky moved the body.
The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan.
Okay, so we need both, alright. Pieces of the jar, you mean?
Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that I committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body.
So, when you first found the body, the jar was already...
Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle.
I see. What's the matter, Emma?
Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there is more to it than that.
There must be a contradiction here somewhere.
Anyway, I committed that completely alone.
So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer?
How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period.
Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence?
She's lying. I did it so I wouldn't... She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying.
So she's determined to protect you to the end. You insist that she fabricated the evidence by herself.
There's no way she could have done it alone.
I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Alright, so there's two things I've got. This, if I present the evidence, as we've already determined that, like, the Emma was written on the surface in blood, which means it could not have been broken during the fight. So I think that's what I'm gonna go with. Boom, 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 let's go, baby! As the kids say. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister.
Chew, what's even funnier, I've seen art of, like, cause she does that same scene, in the,
Anime?
what's it called, detention center?
Oh.
Where she turns around and faces back, so people have drawn her, like, sitting backwards in a chair.
She's like, how should play the rest of this game?
She's just straddling the back of the chair, just like, goodbye, Mr. Wright. It's like, ma'am. I need to find that picture, because it gets me every time.
Put it in the Discord, please. Going, I spin right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby. Anyways. I mean, a forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered. If that's the truth, if that truth were to be disclosed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I'm compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony.
A contradiction in my testimony?
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events started my plan."
That's right.
You have a problem with that? It's simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on the jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must have not been broken before he died.
Oh,
He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Order.
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and the bloody message. We may be missing something critical here.
Something critical?
Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're in the dark as much as we are about the truth towards which we're headed.
What?
Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony.
I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room, and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
Because they had Emma's name on them! I mean, you're the one who wiped away the message in blood.
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Let's go! So, the jar was already broken.
It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier.
To be fair, yeah, it doesn't put it down. It certainly looks feeble as the defense's case. Not as feeble as the judgment's judgment.
You were two ace detectives who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces?
Normally, I have. But it was.
Yeah, sorry. So you didn't
I
know.
already read it, so.
So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar.
No. If I'd known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust.
Hey, Yumi Lex, how you doing today? Let me give you a quick shout out. Another fantastic streamer. They were doing some Animal Crossing recently. How you doing today, Yumi Lex? And Sword and Shield. I think was I there for your Sword and Shield stream? I don't remember, but I remember you doing Animal Crossing recently. You made a really cute cafe. It was lovely. Well, that helps my case.
Lana, you do that for me?
Aww.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It seems you two might make up yet.
Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was.
If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry.
I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came.
The game is going fantastic with all these trials and tribulations. This is
Wrong game.
right. There's with all these tribulations and trials. This is a rather shocking. Oh no! I actually forgot about trials and tribulations. I really did. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. What do you mean? If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood.
What else could I have done in that situation? Lana. I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces.
Parents are so large. Yeah, we got this, Yumi Lex. We got this. How's your day been? I know you said you're tired, but hopefully work went well and everything like that. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office.
A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me.
It's called the phone.
Even I? Well, you have to remember, this takes place in 2016 or whatever, but it was 2001.
Yeah, well, yeah, fair enough.
Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go.
That's a little more drastic though, Emma.
I mean, if I had luminol, I too would carry it everywhere I went, to be honest.
Alright, I got you a Christmas gift. It's good.
So I'd probably just wind up spilling it. I never miss anything. I got every last piece.
Except that one. This long had to drive places. Ooh yeah, driving can be rough. I'm hoping you're having a good relaxing time and enjoying the game at least. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene.
Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time.
It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up.
In jail, where you both
After all, we've gotten to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office.
More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony.
Oh, Kitty Savage. Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. God, I actually do not know the contradiction. Phoenix knows it, I don't.
You do know it, though. You said it out loud with your words.
A little while.
At one point.
During this whole thing?
Yes! You spoke it with your own words.
Oh, was it that you missed a piece? Okay, to be fair, okay, I was being somewhat sarcastic with that, though. It's the Blue Badger, there we go, let's go!
What is the wow Katie in response to?
You saying they're gonna get to know each other in jail. It's the attorney's badge, right, Mitchell, how could I have forgotten? Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you are unaware of.
What?
We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe.
In the chief's safe? But how?
We illegally searched his office. Duh, have you not been
I
listening?
see, that makes sense.
I knew it, she really didn't know. Something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night the prosecutor was murdered, you were not the first one to show up to the scene. God dang it, Mitchell. Chief Gant got there before you did.
Did you say god damn it, Mitchell? Or gosh dang it, Mitchell?
Well, he just redeemed it, so we're good.
Alright.
But could the defendant simply have missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are far too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. Well, that may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has those days. Everybody has those... Well, anyway, I don't remember what that song is, but either way. And even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along.
Mood. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? Yes, he's very old, Edward.
When the witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on the shattered jar.
Yeah, that's the thing, Shu. Subscribers get their points back, and Mitchell's is currently a subscriber, so Mitchell just keeps reusing, recycling, and all that stuff, like the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle. That's what he's doing with those cursing things, 100%.
Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying that that person was Chief Gant at the time. He was looking for dark downstairs.
What about Tong? Oh, everyone makes mistakes. Okay.
Yeah. The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide the fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? Yeah! No!
Why? I love how just the judge. No, I can't answer. I'm a failure as a witness.
Wait, I'm on the law on trial here.
I love him.
Mitchell's doing God's work.
Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness
He proceeded to break the jar.
and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called?
Fabrication of evidence?
But why?
But why would Chief Gant do that? The judge is the MVP.
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear?
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister, Emma, killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Letting her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma, and therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet.
Oh, that was blood.
No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. Wait a minute. That's my friend. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana may be right after all.
What do you mean, right?
So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright?
Miss Skye, please testify once more.
But
If evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie.
I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Miss Skye, if you will.
I can't.
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will if you tell the truth.
Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw.
Everything else you heard me say was a lie. All right, the witness may testify once more for the final time. Let's go!
The end of the whole case. Are you ready? There'll be nothing after this. Nothing whatsoever.
Are we gonna get Gant again?
When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I took all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it.
You just admitted it. Okay.
But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword.
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof.
Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
The book? What, to me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
I don't remember seeing a picture like that.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana.
Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere.
Oh, now I get to...
Now you get to.
How do I open this? I see the picture. I see it. Oh, dang. Hey, there's a picture here. That's what I was thinking too, True.
Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this.
Damn.
Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Mr. Wright. That piece cut out from his vest. Could that be...
The cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. Yep. Handprint.
This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer.
What? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Emma.
Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright?
Anyways, let's get on with the cross-examination. As long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer.
Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. What? I didn't even press anything. Oh. Come now, Aji. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant. What? Now do you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to be put in a word of my defense. Words didn't work right there.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
What?
You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sorts.
This must be that risk we're talking about earlier. He's back, baby!
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck.
Which is like such... Like, when I first played this game and Edward said that, I was like, damn, Edward.
So what? You think I'm worried? I only ran down here to say, hold it! Really loud, just to make sure that...
Yeah, I only got electrocuted for 5 seconds for no reason.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements.
What do you mean?
The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence.
Yes.
Yes, that is true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone. Oh, we're good. So, what's your excuse, Rhino? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You two have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? We save. Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present the piece of evidence? The only one... Yeah, that's what I just did. That's what I just did, Mitchell. I was like, boom. Alright. My gut instinct says to show the evidence because I think we're going to prove it's forged. Yes, Your Honor. I do have further evidence.
Alright, the time's finally come to show it to them. Those prints have got to be the Chief's.
Now that shows us conclusive evidence. The evidence just shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. I feel like the King of Prosecutors trophy. I know the game wants me to show that, but I also feel like the King of Prosecutors trophy would do good here. Alright, let's go. It's a piece of leather cloth. Yes, it's mostly cut from the victim's vest near his chest.
What's this? There's a big handprint on it.
Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into the sword. What? Whose fingerprints are on this? I'm sure Rhino has checked, haven't you? Well, whose are they? They're Miss Skies, Miss Emma Skies.
What? They're mine? So I really did do it.
See, I told you it was conclusive. But this was found in your safe, which means it's possible you forged it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. Do you really expect me to believe that? But...
Give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over.
Yeah, I chose the wrong one.
You should have presented that. By presenting that evidence, you tied Emma Sky to Neil Marshall's death.
No. Ah. No. Okay, yeah, I screwed it up. No. I changed the thing. In the end, Lana alone was the coin. Okay. Yeah, okay. I should not have done that one. All right, we saved though. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie. Chief Gant. You opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I pulled the reverse 1-2 on them, baby. Let's go. Okay.
You're right. Why don't you show them? We found it together.
Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it.
What are you talking about, Chief Gant?
Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean
you had this in your safe?
What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in history of the police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Rhino. Well, I can't let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? We're getting another testimony from him? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. Ooh.
You really were manipulating her.
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay for her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid.
So you assisted Miss Sky.
I told her I'll arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room.
And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted.
When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This is before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance! Of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that the girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? Why do you take me for a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See that jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces.
But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say that you didn't fabricate the message on the jar too?
ho! Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance.
You mean the piece of cloth?
Come now, Rhino. Cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut from the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all, but it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, that's right. What do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Rhino. You should have shown it before it was too late. It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, the victory is mine. I don't know which way to go. I don't know which way to go. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright, then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. I got a bad gut feeling about it, but I do want to see what happens. Let me verify this one. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut this piece off of the victim's vest. Oh yes. At last, you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests to be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean
it could not have been forged? It must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
You're as slow as you think it's ever worthy.
What?
Think about it. Rhino had all the time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why do you think that would be? Did I choose the wrong one again? Probably.
You mean you already know? You know who the fingerprints are on that?
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I will tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person who those fingerprints belong to is... Emma Sky.
What? They're mine?
I'm sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Ho! You're really something, Rhino. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
How could you? You monster.
Miss Sky.
You whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
Miss Sky, it's not over yet.
What?
I said the trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it's over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career, too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl to a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh? And what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall? Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool blabbing about? I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, the piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold! The piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Oh, frick. Frick. Let me look at this cloth real quick. Okay. No! I pressed the wrong button. I fucked up. And exactly what that's supposed to be. Oh, wait.
It's funny you could press the right one by accident.
This is a picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it.
I thought you did it on purpose. I was confused.
I was actually about to check that out. I was going to press enter to make sure I could check it out and see what it was all about and make my decision. Like, I was heavily considering this one, actually, though. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes, his shirt is showing underneath.
By the way, you're not on a swear timer, are you?
No. That looks like I'm good.
Good. Awesome. I wasn't sure because I remember that people were redeeming it a while back, but I lost my mind.
Looks like I'm good. It's hard to make out all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest was soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, that piece of cloth. Wait, there's no blood on it. Ah! As Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at the time. No, this is nonsense! Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside.
He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out.
If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Lana Sky, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armor's sword?
Then, make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death. Said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it.
Remember what you admitted only moments ago. You personally cut out the bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Though, that very act of creating assurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No! It's finally all over. Wait, what? Oh! Oh, that was close, Ryder. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Order, order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Udgy. Earlier, O'Reilly here concealed that piece of cloth. Don't you see that? Yeah, we'll just skip that for us. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. That's you.
Sorry, I hit the mute button by mistake.
Yeah.
But that's not fair.
Ho 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 ho! Do you actually think you can best me in court? Looks like the last laugh's on you, son. I'm only sweating profusely for no reason. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth.
True, illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person, assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal.
Well, Mr. Wright. It seems at last, the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, you admit it, that you are purposely and illegally concealed this piece of cloth. No, I did not. I admit I refused to present it at one point. Aha! So the evidence is illegal. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Oh! It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved with presenting evidence. No, Audrey, don't listen to his lies that I said a few days ago. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really believe.
There's only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
Very well. Very well. Let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove that your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. Here's this law book for dummies, Rule 101. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law.
Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
I found this piece of cloth. I found this piece of evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have the approval from the police department.
Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. Mr. Popo of the Bronx, yes! No!
He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless.
The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant.
You yourself confessed to a certain truth.
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut this out of the victim's vest. Oh, yes! No!
It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth.
The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant. The killer was you. I prefer electricity. Oh my god. This is kind of creepy. He has to go out laughing at a bang. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the apartment trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me.
Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty.
He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yes, that's right.
If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my one chance to find out the truth.
Please, you've got to help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit.
He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence.
Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room, and then all of a sudden he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There's too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker as he was taking the evidence out. He said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. He had a cursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out.
Doing so would have only left more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime.
Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on the Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it.
Then you put the body in my car.
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how could you get Miss Guy involved in all this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out.
So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker.
I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar of fragments and the glove. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay.
Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that.
Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in the court?
Me?
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, well, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring him down. Once you try to go it alone. Oh, we're going to be finishing soon, Mitchell, so I'm not going to be doing that right now. Well, it looks like it's time to say goodbye. I'm about to die. Oh, Archie? What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Aji. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Rhino here, and Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sound of a new beginning. There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes.
First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Grant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent.
You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today.
So, it seems that all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky, I couldn't get you out of all your trouble.
My, what high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you might just make it to the top.
Oh, she can smile, really.
I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright.
Miss Sky.
And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days.
Her smile, right, Chu?
Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you.
It was nothing. I can't look pathetic in front of my boyfriend.
Liar!
I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory.
Mr. Wright, it wasn't your victory, it was mine.
You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth.
Stop it. I only did my job.
In light of this case, it seems a good self-examination is in order for all of us. Miss Sky,
Yes, Your Honor.
You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. He became a tsundere baka.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
There's something amusing about all this. Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of those heavy chains.
Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of the murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty. Edgeworth has always been a tsundere, though. Let's be real, yeah? That is all. This court is adjourned. At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she isn't gonna be convicted for murder she didn't commit.
No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. You know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, I guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run around while on duty, and to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. I came here today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Technically, it is because of your sister.
Lana.
Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Oh, she's still under arrest, you know. I won't tell if you won't.
Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. This. I asked Gant for help. I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. And hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Emma.
Aww. God, how big is she? Hold on, wait. I'm sorry. Lana seems like she's like 7 feet tall or something from this person. It feels like she's so tall. I feel like maybe I'm just looking at this wrong, but it feels like Lana's on her like on one knee kind of deal. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they both are.
No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in doing so, we can find our way back to our rightful path. It is from there that we can move on towards a brighter future. At least, that's what I felt watching these two sisters make up.
Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe.
Me?
Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday.
Are we gonna meet her in a future game?
Her? No.
Oh.
Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here. You tsundere.
Where was he hiding?
I just came to say, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right. Well, I'll be going now.
Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you.
It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right.
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me are the same. Yada yada yada. You'll see what it really does. You try to think I'm done. Yeah.
I do despise criminals. I planned to dedicate my entire life to fighting them, but in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now.
But Edgeworth,
who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor.
Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, both were the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said, in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
huh? Wait, what? Yeah. What is the pop quiz?
Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about.
Oh God. Evidence, huh? Let me save this. This is the most important one. Gotta impress the boyfriend. That neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find out on our own. The Blue Badger. No, Guy, I don't want to ruin this moment. Oh. Duh. We literally put two pieces together.
That's the picture I drew.
Our counterattack began with this. You had one half the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. Attorney's
That
back.
didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's time for me to go. I'm having unnecessary feelings.
Mr. Edgeworth.
If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor.
Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help grow you grow. In the end, it's up to you.
I know. It seems I owe my thanks to you, right? But what I face now is my problem.
Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. And at home, we have a little Hallmark special to watch tonight at 10 p.m.
Farewell.
I better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems you both have a lot to learn and catching up to do.
Aww.
Here, this is a little something for you.
Is there a picture of a dead body in there too?
Scientific investigation. It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will.
And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Aww. That's sweet. Faith that their lives have only just begun. Aww. As for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. Why is Larry Butts there? A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go checking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Wait.
Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side.
Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Right here is the one who'll be footing that bill. Huh? What, you think I could afford that on my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Wait, what? Huh?
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best.
Why is it? I suddenly feel like I want to scream. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go.
Oh, that's cute. Is there any post-credit scene that we should be worried about?
There's a few things, as always. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma.
Aw. Alright, so there are a few. We went a little over our time. I hope you're okay. Are you good?
I'm good.
Alright, cool beans. Yikes, I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily. Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. Poor Gumshoe. I love him so much. He's so good. Fills my heart with joy.
He's just a dude doing his best.
He's the perfect dude. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
Gumshoe.
too, and you're right. Larry is important. Edgeworth and
Mind you,
Boone
mission is
met
a
with
guy. Wait,
them.
what was his voice again? Everyone, a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the edges for me today. Officer, make it, sir. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like that Dick Gumshoe. Aww. Aww. Yes, we got it, baby. Let's go. I haven't done Mika's voice in a minute, so I forgot how it goes. I think I still did it wrong.
Mood.
Bum 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 bum. Oh, it actually did focus on it. No.
Look what you've done.
What is that handprint doing there, though? I don't. Is that Gumshoe's
I feel
handprint?
like maybe there's a way to like investigate it that we missed.
Thank you. Okay, good. It died.
No, he was just doing a sexy pose.
Okay, fair enough. I feel like we could investigate the handprint because I am. What is it on the handprint?
I feel like there's something you can do.
What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this into me. She's seeing one of them guards, as it seems. Oh, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? That's the cactus, I think it was.
That reference.
That's the cactus.
Oh wait, no, it is the cactus.
Yeah. How often does a cactus need water? Not often.
That often. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put in a new meal on the menu. The top tier tastes like bitter defeat, but the bottom, the sweetest victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards.
The right way lunch. That's funny. I'm kind of curious what the meals would be, though.
Like a Sour Patch. First they're sour, then they're sweet.
I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left. Anyways, he said he's been doing something or another for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I better be... Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go. God damn it, Judge.
He's just so old, Steph. We have
He's
give him
so
credit.
old, so incredibly, unforeseeingly
ancient.
old, so crumbling to dust in front of our very eyes. God damn, he's so old. Who's next? Oh, yo, Maya!
Nothing Susan. What's her voice again?
I don't remember.
I forget. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium.
Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin.
Coming. Well, see you around, Nick.
Oh, we're gonna get that Maya voice back, eh?
I think it was up here, actually, or something.
It might have been. I have to go back into the actual video to listen.
Yay! I think it was up here.
Actually, yeah, that does sound a lot more familiar now that you go with that. Because I think you remember being like, I've been to jail a bunch.
Oh, seasoned jailbird.
Yeah, that's it. Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I brought you your tea. What's going on? Does he not work at the hotel anymore?
Well, he's doing some tea delivery.
Yeah,
But
okay.
more importantly, that whole note deal.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book.
Oh, okay. Did she give you a picture of her, like, concealing evidence in the back? Aww. Aww, that's a cute picture. Oh, look at that! Oh, that's cute! Oh, it's cute! Why is it that I love all Capcom games? Like Monster Hunter and Ace Attorney are just fantastic. They're so different, but Capcom makes up darn good games. I'll say that much. That being said, I don't think I play any other Capcom games. We're gonna have to continue. Oh wait, we're gonna start a new game on Justice for All next.
Heck yeah.
Alright, guys. The next Ace Attorney stream. Have you ever played Resident? Yes, I like Resident Evil. Resident Evil's Capcom. Thank you very much. Mega Man's Capcom. I've not played Mega Man though. Oh god, who's streaming today? Who are we gonna say hi to for our raid? We'll say hi to Saf. Saf's another Splatoon streamer. Raid. Saf. SAPPHIREIA. Thank you very much, Drew. I had a lot of fun, and as always, I hope you had a great amount of fun there too. Did I press the wrong button? No, I didn't. Hope you had a great amount of fun there too, Katie. It was a blast. And hopefully I'll be able to see you here for Justice for All, starting next week if you're up for it.
Yeah, I'd be down for it.
Oh, heck.
Yeah, I need to get my Maya voice back.
I know Christmas Day's coming around soon, so if you got planning and stuff to do for that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll work around that, but that's not until closer to Christmas.
I believe she is in the next
time.
game, yeah. Francesca? Sorry, I'll let you. Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't Yeah, I have to get my Franziska voice.
I am so curious what that's gonna be.
I'll work on it.
All right, guys. I just want to say a big thank you, of course, to AJ. AJ did all my art. They're fantastic. I love them dearly. And we're going to see if we can get them to do a Poop Badger emote for us one day, maybe. A big thank you to Scott to Network for my opening intro. And a big thank you to all of you guys. Without you guys, I can't do what I do. And I sincerely appreciate all the support you've given me. I thank you guys very much. I hope you stay safe and stay Botanist Cool. I'm going to see you tomorrow for a game. I don't know what it's going to be yet, though. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, that raid counter was going down really quickly. I'm like, oh no, we have like 2 seconds left.